Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So if you ever met me, whether it be at a conference or, as a member or even a coach, you know I wear my heart on my sleeve, right? I always like to tell it as is and keep it real. Well, one of the things is about the realities of being a full-time trader is it's not always, a bed of roses, all right? There's some painful days, painful weeks. And believe me, 20 years plus doing this, still have some painful weeks. Hey, let's get into the reality of being a full-time trader. This is not to dissuade you, but to understand there's going to be some obstacles, and we'll talk about how we overcome each and every one of them. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's start with the first one. This job is like no other. However, like any other job, it requires a commitment. You have to keep on a schedule, and there's a tremendous amount of hours that you put into the effort to be successful. I always make sure I try not to cut corners too much, and that's whether I'm on the road or at home base, right? But it's easy to do sometimes, and sometimes it's not just about scheduling. It's just sometimes you're just tired and get lazy, and you're not really all into it and stuff. But this job requires everything, and the markets will punish those who try to cut corners. So make that commitment, right? Keep a schedule, right, daily on your calendar, whatever it is, and try to really keep to it and have some flexibility for emergencies or things like that. That's the beauty of this business. You can do that, but you don't want to sort of veer off the path too much, and then that's when things go awry. So full-time trader, it's not easy in the sense that you have to stick to a rigid plan. And one of the reasons we sort of left our full-time work is we could have more flexibility. Well, not necessarily the reality. Okay, next, the level of sacrifice to me has never been greater in any other type of thing that I've done. Sacrifice going out with my friends at night, weekends, we're just studying, looking at charts, doing back testing, watching videos is relentless. And also the sacrifice of frugality. One of the things I'm a big proponent on is living a life of abundance versus living a life of scarcity. Not having to worry about that trade or two or three trades in a row that are going to get stopped out. It's okay. You're thinking in series anyway. But what you want to do is to try to do your best to sort of have that cushion. And it's the mindset of living an abundant life. And in order to do that, at least what I had to do is to sacrifice. And I was very frugal. I drove a Honda Civic. All right. And nothing wrong with Honda Civics. I love them. In fact, I have a nicer car now, but I kind of miss that little baby. I enjoyed that. Played a big part of my life. And, those cheap car payments, even though it was a new car, allowed me to save a lot to build my trading account so I can trade better size. So sacrifice, really, really, really important. And there's many ways you can do that. Just, find out a way that fits you best and make sure and understand that things and fruits that you want will come later, but you have to sacrifice them now. It's just the nature of this job, unless you're just so blessed where you don't have to do it. And I would be completely jealous if you said. Okay, next, you can do all the prep in the world, meditation, pre-market, whatever. It's all bullshit if you're not profitable, okay? And consistently profitable. So really important, that reality is you have to be consistent. You could have a bad day, you can make mistakes, but if you learn from them and keep that equity curve going, you'll be fine. And understand that 20 years later, you'll still be making mistakes, but you won't be making those same sort of stupid mistakes like you did in the beginning of your journey. So little by little, reduce those errors. But understand at the end of the day, there's a lot of pressure to perform. We are performers. We're Celine Dion performing at Caesars. All right. Understand that we have to go on stage every day and pretty much do the best that we can do. We may not be able to control the outcome, but we need to be able to perform daily. And that's part of our job and the reality of being a trader full time. Okay, next, and especially in the beginning when you go full time, you're everything, right? You're the tax man, you're the accountant, you're the documentation manager, things like that. All right. And you're also the trader, right? And that requires a lot of focus and effort. So as you move along, you may realize there's certain things that you just need to delegate and you can afford to delegate. But in the beginning, I understand it's tough. And I remember, I asked myself, can I handle this all? And sometimes I still ask that question, but focusing on the business at hand, which we said earlier, is being a profitable trader, a consistently profitable trader, and all the other stuff. If you can delegate it or barter to someone, that would be really the best, especially in the beginning. So it allows you to focus on hitting your numbers. Okay, next one. And I was debating whether I should put this in here because it is somewhat more of a sort of a personal knife in the heart. But this business can be really lonely at times. I mean, now we have communities online and you can join clubs, but even with that, the isolation problem is a real problem for traders. And when I went through that, I quit my job and I was just so sort of alone. And I was doing pretty well, but I just wasn't going out that much. I became more introverted. Some of my friends were concerned about me. So I started to get out a little bit, but I felt even uncomfortable in groups. And that was never like me. I was always sort of the life of the party. So it does take its toll. And I was concerned about it. Like I said, my friends and family were a little concerned about it too. But I overcame that. But it took sort of, help to do it, and good people, surrounding me to make sure I created more balance. So what happens is you can, when you're going full time, you just want to put all your effort in being successful. But there's a price to that. And at one point, I actually went back to my old job as a consultant because I just needed people to talk to. And I enjoyed that. I missed the like working in an office and then someone comes in your office and say, Mike, could I talk to you for a second? I said, yeah, what's the matter? Is it your performance or no? Like, they'll talk about like, hey, do you know Billy's and Susie are sort of seeing each other? And like, oh my God, I didn't know that. I'm so happy. That's cool stuff. You don't get that sitting in front of the screen being a trader. So it was nice balance, and I enjoy getting out on the consulting side as well, just to meet interesting people all over this great world. So think about that if it is a challenge for you or you're recognizing that. This just reach out to people and join communities and understand that you are not alone. Certainly not alone, and I can certainly relate to that challenge. Okay, so the next one. Even when you are trading professionally full time and you're profitable, every little flaw is exposed in this business. All right. Now, you may not have to tell anyone, but if you do your journals right and you have an accountability partner, well, they're going to find out. But understand that that's normal. Even after 2 decades of trading, I still make stupid mistakes. I mean, I'm talking about stupid like pushing the buy button and it should have been the sell, that kind of stuff. So understand that you're just going to be exposed. This market exposes every little flaw. And really overcoming that is really, really important, and understanding it takes time. And really, a lot of it is just about acceptance. So if you're going to do this as a full-time trader, understand that it's okay to make mistakes. All right, we all do. And believe me, there's a lot of prop and hedge fund people who make six-figure mistakes. But understand that there's corrective ways to do it. Use technology to minimize those things. And quite honestly, it's tough to do when you suffer a loss, but have a good laugh, over a few drinks at happy hour and, let it be. Okay, so the next one is also a challenge. And again, how long you've been doing this, it doesn't matter. You still have a challenge. The challenge of maintaining balance throughout your life and also in your trading. You're going to have some really cool highs and lows, good winning streaks where your confidence is going to be an all-time high. And then sometimes it seems to happen immediately where you go in this losing streak, you're going to drawdown, and you're just like, oh, 1 minute you're booking 5-star hotels in Hong Kong, and then like the next week you're like looking at menu price and go, maybe I won't get the appetizer. It's true. It's kind of a reality. It's just very interesting, and you have to sort of accept that. But the key is, and the key takeaway here is, try to maintain balance throughout the journey of trading full time. And one of the ways I like to do that, especially if you have a spouse or partner, is to be able to sit at the dinner table and for them to never know how you did that day. When you come home, or even if you're working a real good job, what's the first thing they say is, how was your day? Right? Well, when they say, how was your day? They have no clue if you just like crushed it or you blew an account. All right. It's a tough challenge, but get to that point, and that's really the test to say, okay, I've reached that balance where I'm just going to execute my plan, do my job as a trader. That's control what I basically control. and keep and maintain that balance. I see it all too often. People getting these really cool streaks, and I'm all for confidence. I want to build confidence, but sometimes it gets to the point where it's too at a high level, whether I know the market's going to punish them, and you don't want to get to that point because that's where you start cutting corners and things like that. So maintain a good, solid balance and remind yourself every day where you are in this sort of journey that you're taking. Don't get too cocky, don't get too overconfident, and when the drawdowns occur, understand it's normal randomness, working its thing. Okay, so to wrap this up, not every day dozen roses being handed to you, right? It's what we're doing is just executing our plan, but we have to do it with diligence, compliance, and understand really what ultimately our role is as a trader. It's executing a plan, not necessarily crushing it each and every day. So what I like to do is click on the link below, and we linked a couple interesting day in the life videos from Etienne and myself, and it'll give you a little taste of the sort of life of a traveling trader. The good, bad, and maybe even the ugly. All right. We'll catch you on the other side, and we'll see you next time.